All right, it looks like we're live. Give me a little grace today, everybody, because my computer died. So I'm working with a tablet and a phone that I'm not used to working with. So welcome to Saturdays with Steph. It may be crazy today, but we'll get through it. Anyway, today we are going to sew up this pumpkin that's on the wall behind me. And as you can see, I have my good friend Russ here of Quilt Meets World.
Hi.
Hi, Russ. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime, anytime. And it sounds like Russ had a really fun day. Do you want to tell him what you did today?
I may have done a little bit of fabric shopping. A friend of mine is in town. He got in on Thursday night. They went to the aquarium and World of Coke yesterday, and they drank too much soda because they have all the Cokes from around the world. Everybody needs to try the Beverly. And we had dinner last night, and then this morning we got up fairly early. He picked up an embroidery machine, and we went fabric shopping. We hit two awesome fabric stores. I think I ended up spending just under $300 between the two stores. He spent just under $500 between the two stores.
Okay, you didn't do too bad.
We,
He
we,
definitely
we haven't been to one of them in several months, so we had
yeah,
to.
nice. Very cool. That's a fun day. Fun with friends.
Definitely.
Shop and fabric shopping can't be a bad day.
Everything that I bought was needed for something, so that's the big thing.
There you go. Perfect. All right, well, I just say hi to everybody in the chat. There's a lot of you coming in. I did see Stephen of Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, and he said, hi, Stephanie and Russ. How was your shop hop today? He had a shop hop. You did some quilt shop hop.
Ooh, shop
But,
ops.
but Stephen did a shop hop, so I can't wait to hear all about that. I'm sure we'll hear about it on his live
Oh,
tomorrow.
definitely.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear about that. So check out Stephen's channel, Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter, tomorrow at 4 p.m. live, because I can't wait to hear about his shop hop. I got to hear about Russ's, but it's always fun. I love seeing what other people pick and how they shop.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always a good time. So hello to everybody here. Like I said, I'm on my tablet. I don't have my computer today. So the words are about this big. That's why I have my glasses on, and I can barely even see it with my glasses. So just a blanket hello, because I'm not gonna be able to read everybody's name. So oh my gosh, he said spend $1,000. It was great. Oh my goodness. I caught that out of the corner of my eye. But hello to everybody. Great to see you. Russ, are you ready to go? Are you ready to sew up this pumpkin?
I am definitely ready to go because I want to know where this missing 2.5 inch square is.
Okay, well, I'm going to turn my other camera on then, and we're going to show people how to do this. Now, I did not write a pattern for this because I have a lot going on right now, a lot going on. So I didn't have time to write a pattern. So, but this is it's very straightforward, very simple. So I think you guys can do it without a pattern. If you need to look at something, you can always come back to the video. Like I said, I have my second camera here. Hopefully you guys can see that. And I've got all my fabrics laid out, but Russ and I will walk you through this pumpkin. And so if you don't finish it with us, you can always come back to the video and watch later. All right. So
Love your fabric choices.
Thank you. This is leftovers from the, autumn quilt. So the one on the wall is actually for my swap partner from the Crafting with Lisa Marie group. She wanted traditional, like sort of autumn colors. And of course, I got to have my blues. So
yes.
So we're going to start with the center of the pumpkin. So I'm going to start with this big square here, and all the cutting guide, or like the sizes, are all on my blog, which is linked in the comment at the top of the chat or in the description box below this video. So if you need any of the fabric cuts, they're all over there on my blog. So we're going to start with this 10-inch square and grab 4 of your 2.5-inch background squares. So I'm going to put those here first. I'm going to grab all this other stuff and move it out of the way. Hello, everybody coming in. For those who like Camille Ross Kelly, her new fabric shoreline has been announced and can be pre-ordered now. Yes, Shoreline
That
was,
sounds exciting.
it's gorgeous. I just got my Moda catalog and I will be having that fabric for sure. And she's got this really pretty kit and I'm going to be offering that for pre-order. So look for that in the next couple days. We weren't allowed to announce it until today. So yeah. All right. So I'm just going to lay
I'll be
one of
stalking your shop for that, just to let you know.
okay. I'm going to lay one of these on each of the corners. And then I'm just going to sew from corner to corner. So diagonal, you can use a pen if you need to. Let me see if I've got one here. I don't think I have a friction pen right here, but you can draw if you need to from corner to corner. I have the seam guide tape on my machine, so I'm just going to use that because these are small enough squares. I really don't start drawing on the back of squares until I get over like 3.5 inches.
I have a laser on my machine, which makes it pretty handy.
Yeah, that's really nice. So I'm just going to sew all 4 of these corners on. We're going to just, this is called snowballing your square or stitch and flip, or there's lots of names for this. Of course, it would help if my thread would behave itself, right?
That usually is helpful.
It's all jumbled underneath the foot there. All right, there we go. Did your machine come with a laser or did you put one on it?
It came with a laser. That was one of the selling points for it.
Very cool.
And I have a feeling somebody is about to ask what machine I have, and it is a Brother Innovus BQ 3050.
Very neat.
So it has like 7,000 stitches, of which I use 2.
So you bought it for the laser.
I bought it for the laser. I bought it because it works really nicely. It fits every one of my accessories that I've had because I've had Brother machines going through.
Okay.
I just wanted something that was beefy enough and had enough of neck room for when the projects get to be pretty big.
Gotcha. That makes sense. We all like our machines.
And the lazy was very much wanted because I don't like drawing the lines on really small half square triangle pieces.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In fact, with the socialites blocks for the finishing ones that are 9.5 inch half square triangles, I just ironed those instead of drew them. Ironed them into half square triangles.
Yeah.
Or iron the center. That Jenny done a little bit of a trick. I have my magic juice.
Yes. Definitely have to use magic juice.
I can't do a Stephanie Stitches project without magic juice.
Without magic juice. Got my bucket to put my scraps in. This is my Steven bucket. I love it.
Ah, yes, it is a wonderful bucket.
I love it.
See, I knew somebody was going to ask what kind of machine I have.
Yep. So now that I've sewn all 4 corners on, I'm just trimming them 1/4 inch towards the outside away from the stitches. And then we're just going to press these guys out. Now you can turn this into a pillow or a wall hanging or whatever you like. I'm going to make a pillow because my daughter has been begging me to make pillows for the couch. So for the autumn.
Mine is going to become a wall hanging.
Nice.
And I left my rotary cutter up here.
Okay. And this is why they're called stitch and flip, because you just, after you stitch them and trim them, you just flip them and then iron them in place. Carla said, I love my 3 Genomes. One has an 11-inch throat for quilting, one is for travel, and one is for stitching at home. Nice. Robert said, I love pillows. So does my family. My kids love them. They just pile on them on the couch. So my daughter asked me to make some autumn pillows. So that's what I'm doing. Paula said, do you find the magic juice leaves a residue on your iron? It did on my Aliso. Nope, I've never had that issue. But that doesn't mean it can't happen. It just, I've never had that problem. My iron's not super hot. Just waiting for my iron to heat up. I really like this cordless iron, but sometimes if you leave it for a while, it kind of deheats itself, even if you haven't used it. So just have to recharge it.
That's strange.
Yeah, not sure why it does that. You would think if I left it on the cradle, it would stay hot, but that's okay because it only takes like 5 seconds to heat back up. So not too bad. For those of you who do like the Aliso irons, there's a new mini travel iron, and I think that they've redone the design a little bit so your hands don't get so hot on the handle, which is good. So Mary said it did on mine too. Stephanie told me to use the Mr. Clean eraser. Yeah, if you get any residue on your irons, you can use Mr. Clean to clean your irons. I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but I love it. It cleans them up in about 2 seconds. Do it when the iron is cool over the sink. Take the magic eraser, damp it, make sure it's damp, not dripping. Wipe, and then take a damp paper towel, wipe the iron off, and then dry it, and you're good to go. Takes everything right off.
I have a pumpkin base.
Yes, very nice. All right. So here's our pumpkin base, like Russ said. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take our 4x10 pieces, Russ, and we're going to add one to either side of this pumpkin. We're going to build the whole bottom of the pumpkin first. Okay, so just like that, one to each side, to the left and right. So if you have directional fabric, put it to the left and the right, not the bottom.
Especially those with OCD.
Yes. It's a thing, I'm telling you.
It really is. I mean, I have it, not arguing.
Yep. I was working on something that I'm sewing up for another company the other day, and it was driving me a little batty because there's words on the fabric, and the way they're having you construct things, their words will go sideways. And I'm like, no, this can't happen. So I had to fix everything.
That's one of the things that I'm not a fan of from Saturday Stampert is occasionally they'll use directional fabrics, and you don't know if it's going to be set straight line or on diagonal or what. So
yes,
you're like, how am I supposed to anchor these straight lines and stuff? And then sometimes they don't give you enough fabric to even do it that way.
Yep.
There was one of them, it was beautiful blues, and they had a whole bunch of striped fabric. And I was trying to get them all to go the same direction, and I was so proud. And then they said that, okay, the finishing is going to be on point. And I was like,
oh no. Yeah, that's the downside to mystery, right?
Yeah. So after that one, I just said, okay, however my point or however the direction goes, it goes. I am not concerned with this. If I don't like the way it's going to come out, it's going to be a Christmas present.
There you go. Sherlock Sews, Lori, hi, happy birthday, by the way. Said, I like your little iron. Thank you.
Robert, I'm going to be turning mine into a table runner. Not table runner, wall hanging. One of those phrases.
One of those things. Yes, if you want it bigger for like a wall hang, like Russ is going to do,
No, it's going to be an 18-inch wall hanging.
Oh, nice. Okay. But if you do want it a little bigger, you can just add borders or whatever. The size I'm doing is just to make a pillow. So
I might end up be making 3 more of these because I have family members. I said, actually, one might end up turning into a pillow because I said, would you rather, if it existed, a wall hanging or a pillow? And 2 of them said wall hanging, one said pillow. So whoever said pillow is going to be a 50-50 shot if they get a wall hanging or a pillow.
nice. Hi, Philippa. Good to see you. You're welcome, Lori. Hi, Sherry. Okay, so that is what the pumpkin looks like so far. We've got the center of the pumpkin and then the left and the right hand side. What is the name of my little iron? Sorry, I missed that. No worries, Stephen. This is what it looks like. I'll actually hold it up here. It's by Steam Fast, and I'm pretty sure you can get it on Amazon, the Steam Fast cordless iron. And it comes with like, I don't know where it went, but it comes on a base. Let me just show you the base. And it comes with like a plastic cover that snaps on top of the base when you're not using it, when it's cooled
That
off.
seems very much like the Panasonic base.
It is, but the Panasonic iron is shaped differently. And I've tried that one. It's heavier than this, like a lot heavier. And it's got a different shape. And I didn't care for the shape, and it's too heavy to be like a table side iron.
Oh, I understand everybody has their specifics that they need for irons.
Yeah. It's a good iron though. I mean, I think it's better for like on the ironing board, like when you're ironing yardage. It was too heavy for me for like a table side. So yeah. All right, so now we're going to take one of our 2.5 by 18.5 inch strips, and we're going to add it to the bottom of our pumpkin. Then we'll have the whole bottom section of our pumpkin done already.
It's enough to make us feel like we've made some progress.
I know, right? I'm
liking this way.
Project every now and then. I feel like I've been cutting fabric nonstop for the last 3 days, so it's nice to have a quick project. So are you going to show off all your finds tomorrow on your blog?
Yes, and then I was also gifted a present of fabric as well. So I've got quite a bit to show tomorrow, and that's pretty good because this is the first time I've been in my sewing room all week.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I know you said you had a busy week, so.
Yeah, I think of the 5 work days, 3 of them I worked till 10. One of them I worked till 5:30, and then one I was still on the conference call whenever I got home from picking Riley up from daycare.
Yeah.
And then I said, I'm done with this. You guys got to figure it out.
Good for you.
It was all because somebody in Argentina accidentally multiplied something by 1,000.
Oh gosh. Oh.
And it was already a large number.
Oh man, that messed up things. Philippa said, "Hi Stephanie, you're making our Japanese blue pumpkins." Oh my gosh, I meant to tell you, Philippa, I'm so excited. We went to the apple orchard last week. They had blue pumpkins. I bought a pumpkin. I have one on my front steps.
Okay, are you going to share pictures of that?
I'll have to. My husband thought I was absolutely nuts because I was like, ah! He's like, what? I'm like, it's a blue pumpkin. So I got myself a blue pumpkin. They're more like this light blue color that's in my fabric. They're not darker, but it's pretty. I love it. Okay, so I added that strip onto the bottom. So the whole bottom side of our pumpkin, or 3/4 of this project, is already done. Yay.
Nice.
Yes. So now I'm going to set this aside for now, and I'm going to grab all my other pieces. I'm not going too fast for you, Russ, am I? You're good?
Nope. I'm barely keeping up with the speed of your machine.
Oh. Where is this pattern? This is not a pattern. This is my brainchild. All right.
The cutting instructions are on your blog, though.
They are. The cutting instructions are on my blog, which is linked in the first, pinned at the top of the chat, and also in the description box below. So if you would like to join, and I'm having to look at my pumpkin behind me to remember where to set things. I'm trying to set things so you guys can see them as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add, I'm just laying all this stuff out so I know where to add things. 1, 2, 3, 4. And am I missing a piece?
I see what you're doing there.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am missing one of my squares though, so I might have to go cut one. But the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take one of our 8.5-inch pieces, and we are going to snowball the one corner with the 2.5-inch square of our stem. So I got to make sure, because it's directional for me, that I have it going the correct way. So yeah.
Well, I'm also trying to make sure that it's going the correct way for the snowball.
Yes. Well, it's upside down looking to me right now. So yeah.
I'm looking in the background.
Yeah.
In your background.
Oh, in my background. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're doing the right strip and that piece right.
Yeah, the color should end up in the left hand corner, upper left hand corner. Yep. I wonder where that.
I also changed feet between snowballing and straight 1/4 inch.
Yeah. And we're just gonna sew that on corner to corner and do the stitch and flip thing.
So this is technically a snowball, but it feels like an inverse snowball because usually you snowball with background.
Exactly. And hence why you didn't need the extra 2.5 inches.
Yep. Yeah, I was staring when I was doing the cutting. I'm like, why are we missing a 2.5-inch square? Something's got to be different.
I was like, I promise you don't need it. Okay, so I'm just gonna finger press this and then shoot some magic juice on it and then press it. And I've got to find my other 2.5-inch piece. I don't know what happened to it. I have a piece MIA.
You have an MIA piece. I made an extra piece just in case.
Well, here, let me have your extra piece. Thank you, Melissa. So your 8.5-inch piece should now have a little colored piece on the top left. That's going to be part of the stem. And let's see here if I can find my other piece. If not, I'm going to have to go cut one. I will just cut some from my extra fabric because I don't know where it happened to it. It escaped. I know I cut an extra one. Good thing I have some extra. And then Russ, you're probably ready for the next part while I'm cutting this. So you're going to take your stem piece here and you're going to snowball again with your background square, this time 2.5, the same angle that you did for the 8.5-inch. So your background piece is going to end up in the top left-hand corner, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
Again, I'm cheating with the picture behind you.
That's fine. My extra piece must have run away. I don't see it anywhere here, which is really strange.
Don't you hate it when your fabric grows feet?
I know, right?
I mean, I did tell the shop owners if their fat quarter sample of Besties vanished, it wasn't me.
Well, I don't know about that. Okay, so here's my extra piece. And so I'm going to stitch it from the top right to the lower left. And then when I'm done stitching it, it'll flip over. And as you can see, if I put those together, that's going to make my stem.
It was amusing the other night. I caught Martha's Creative Life on her live,
Uh-huh.
and I said hi and everything. And her life has been so busy. She's like, I don't know if I've caught up on anything. Do you have air conditioning yet? And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that was an incident over a couple of months ago because this
Yes.
last month was crazy.
Yeah. What's the alternative to candy drugs? What is that? I missed something.
Wait, what?
That's what Steven just said. I'm like, wait a minute. I missed something. Back up.
Okay, speaking of candy drugs, last year, Sam's Club had a kitty litter pail sized of Reese's peanut butter cups.
Oh.
I conned my neighbors into buying a box, a tub of it for me.
Oh, that's funny.
And
All
I
right.
ate almost every single one of the 355 in there.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you like peanut butter cups like I do. All right. So, Russ, you might like this then. My husband just came home from Target right before I went live, and
Yeah.
he brought me this.
Oh.
It's a little like flashback to the 80s, like plastic vinyl pouch, but he put a Reese's peanut butter cup thing in it.
Okay, I'm gonna need to go to Charge.
So yeah, he said it was on an end cap, like by the party supplies. Okay.
I was at Walmart last weekend and I bought my 6-pack of Reese's pumpkins.
Oh, did you? Okay. The pumpkins are like the best ones because they have the most peanut butter.
Yes.
All right. So the next thing we're going to do, you're all done with your stem?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Lay your two, whatever you chose for your leaves. Mine is the blue in this case.
Yes.
Next to each other. And we're going to also snowball these. Lots of snowball in here. But they're going to be in opposite directions. Okay, because we have two leaves on opposite sides of the pumpkin. And so one of them is going to go to the right and one of them is going to go to the left. So, and you're going to sew both on, there's two of these on each leaf, one on each end of this 4.5-inch square. And you're going to sew both on each leaf the same direction, but both leaves are going to be, or each leaf is the opposite direction of each other. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I feel like my brain's all befuddled today.
I understood the words, but it
Yeah,
was a lot of words to understand.
it was. Sorry. So on the right hand leaf, you're going to start at the bottom left and go to the top right with your piece on the left. Same thing with your piece that's on the right hand side. You're going to go to the bottom left and so to the top right. Okay. And then on the left hand leaf, you're going to start on the bottom right and go to the top left. And on the outside piece, the bottom right to the top left. So I hope that makes sense.
Make opposites.
Yes, they're going to be opposites, but the two that are on the same piece are going to be sewn the same way.
Yes, they need to, you need to have if you go back to geometry class, a parallelogram.
Yes, a parallelogram. You're right. Oh, they're talking about the blue pumpkin on the porch, what it means. Okay, I get what that means. Okay. Yeah. The blue pumpkin on the porch is for kids with allergies, so they know at your house they'll either get like they'll get like a
Oh,
little toy or a pencil or something instead of candy. So yeah, that's what that means. But I couldn't figure out
whereas I'm the type of
because
person
Stephen
who
put
will
yeah, sorry.
I make a goodie bag for Halloween. So
Hmm.
it's got some chocolate in there, it's got some hard candy. So it's got a whole bunch of stuff so that if you're allergic to something, you can trade it with your siblings and get candy that you like.
Oh, that's cool. That's a really good idea.
The kids love my house.
I bet yours is a fun house.
Last year, I dressed up as Charlie Brown.
Oh, how fun. That's cool. So that's what Stephen was asking. What's the alternative to candy drugs? Drugs, LOL. Gotcha.
I laugh at the Facebook post where everybody's trying to be all paranoid about um, people giving drugs out instead of candy. I'm like, do you realize how expensive that is? I mean, it's not much more expensive than candy, but it's still expensive.
Yeah, it sure is. That's some evil people to do that, though.
No, the evil ones are the kids who come knocking at your house when your light porch light's not on.
Yeah, we had some of that last year because we ran out of candy. Um, we had 400 trick-or-treaters.
Oh, good golly.
Yeah, our
I
neighbor.
was impressed that we had 60.
Oh, our neighborhood is huge, and we get kids from other neighborhoods that come over here. And after 400, we ran out of candy. So, and it wasn't that much left of trick or treat, probably like 10 minutes, but we kept having these kids like ring our doorbell. And at that point, it was dark. So it was mostly like teenage kids. It wasn't like
Uh-huh.
kids. And I was like, really, you should know better. You're teenagers.
Oh, I lecture them.
Yeah.
Because, when I was growing up, we got in big trouble if we even thought about a porch that didn't have their light on.
Yeah.
And I'm also one of those, I don't care if you are in costume or if you are in street clothes. The only rule is if you say trick or treat, you get candy. I don't
Yeah.
care if you're 2 or 200.
Yeah. Well, I like the teenagers that come around with like their little siblings and they just hold out their bag. And I just kind of
Yeah.
look and I'm like, okay, you're too old to be trick-or-treating anyway, but I'll give you a pass because you're with your little sibling, but you still need to ask. Steven, he goes, toys are nice, but drugs have a more interesting effect. Oh, you're too funny. We know how much you love children, Steven, so. Philippa said Steven wants to give the kids special gummy bears. Oh, goodness. Oh, you're muted, Russ.
With that, they'll be bouncing here and there and everywhere.
Right?
I still have a lingering cough, so I'm trying to mute instead of coughing in everybody's ear.
Gotcha. But you're feeling better otherwise?
Oh, I feel wonderful.
Good. Stephen wants to know, Russ, if kids egged your house after you lecture them.
That year, no. Any future years, no, because I have the doorbell camera now.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't get away with as much stuff like you could when we were growing up because My husband and I were talking about that the other day. Like if you were a kid of the 70s or 80s, there was no
Yeah.
camera. You could get away with anything. You could toilet paper, trees, you could egg people's houses. Not that it was nice to do that, but
Right.
you could get away with it because there's no cameras. Now there's cameras everywhere. These kids can't get away with anything.
It was funny after one of the snowstorms that we had here. Uh, excuse me, my house is basically on a giant hill,
Mm-hmm.
and there were kids, and they came up a portion of the hill, and it tried to slide, but they didn't slide in a good portion. So I posted the video on Facebook, and I said, whoever kids these are, they did it wrong. The better part of the hill is over here. That's where they should have slid.
Yeah. So, let's see. Robert said, what was your favorite Halloween costume, Stephanie? So that's a good question for you too, Russ. Are you talking about favorite that I wore or just favorite in general? In general, if you're talking about in general, like when costumes come to my house, I don't like anything scary. I am a big fraidy cat. So when people come with these big scary, like, I don't know, creepy things, like I make my husband give out the candy. I like seeing the little kids, like the little cute, they're cute, they're starting to talk before they get mouthy. And they've got the cute little like Wizard of Oz and Power Rangers and that kind of stuff. I like those kind of things.
There was one year we had the Pac-Man ghosts. Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde, they came trick-or-treating.
Oh,
so when they were coming up, you saw them in the different colors. And then as they were leaving, they were all the blue as if the Power Pellet had been eating. And I said, that rocks.
That is good. Yeah. No, that's good. Oh, as in a child, when I was in costume. Okay. So my favorite costume when I was a kid. Okay. So my grandmother used to call me Smurfette when I was little because my hair was really blonde, of course. And so they made me Smurfette one year for Halloween. That was fun.
I don't remember many of my my childhood ones,
Uh-huh.
but in my previous company, we did a costume contest one year, and I may have won. I will just say I was in a meeting, and one of my coworkers came in late,
Uh-huh.
and there was a conference call in the meeting as well. And like 2 minutes into it, he said, okay, I have to move because I can't stand looking at Russ anymore.
What did you dress as?
I was dressed as the Wicked Witch of the West. Green face paint and everything.
Oh, funny.
So yeah, they were just like, why are you doing this? I said, why not?
That's hilarious. You're just being alphabet. I love it.
Exactly.
I love alphabet. All right. So if you have finished your leaf units, you're going to want to take your 4.5-inch rectangle, 2.5 by 4.5, and join one to either side of your leaf units. That's funny. I can't look at you anymore.
I can't look at Russ anymore. And the people on the phone were just like, what's going on? What is he doing?
Was it just because he couldn't take you seriously, or he was?
No, he could not take me any form of seriousness.
Gotcha. That is funny.
And I was just acting like absolutely nothing was going on.
That's good. I like it.
Unfortunately, we haven't had any of those really cool events in the last almost 15 years where I've been currently. So, though now that we are at the more relaxed campus, I'm hoping that we start doing more events like that.
Yeah.
Because the other one that we had, or I'm sorry, our other office building, it was more corporate-y.
Oh, gotcha.
So everybody was all as much straight and narrow, as very much as business casual as you could convince yourself to get. And the new campus, because it's where they do a lot of production, you will see people just in shorts. And I'm like, can I wear shorts? He's wearing shorts.
So Melissa said she loved being Raggedy Andy. Jackie said last year her youngest granddaughter wore a blow up dinosaur costume. There was one of those in our neighborhood, and I thought it was the cutest thing.
I've seen that too.
Until I think either the kid ran into something or another kid hit it. And then the poor thing, the whole thing came down. It was sad.
Oh.
And then let's see. Stephen said, and nobody dropped a house on you, Russ?
Not yet.
And Robert said I dressed up as a rodeo clown every time. Nice. I love it. Okay, so after you have your leaf units done and pressed, and I'm going to lay them back out the correct direction, you're going to want to add your 8.5-inch pieces to the top of them. So put these two together, sew these two together, and sew these two together. And the one is the one with your stem piece.
Yes, the missing 2.5-inch square. I'm never going to get myself over that one.
The missing one. I know you were so convinced that I left out a cut.
So everybody knows what I'm talking about. As I was doing these cuts, I was also taking a look at the sample picture. And as my mind does cuts and everything, I'm putting it together in my head. And you have the same instructions that I have, which is going to be this video. So I have no instructions yet. And I was just a little confused. I was like, it feels like we're missing us 2.5-inch square. Are you certain you got the cutting instructions right? Are you certain? And she just kept saying, nope, I promise you it's right. I'm like, I'll trust you.
He did. He's like, I guess I'll trust you. I'm like, I promise it'll come out. It was.
We have an extra 2.5-inch square just in case we were still messed up.
Or in case your friend who's making hers loses her extra 2.5. That's okay. Luckily, I had the extra piece right here. Now you just have an extra for your next one that you're going to make, since you're making like 3 of these.
Well, 4, but all 4 of them have an extra because I did all the cutting the other day. Because it's easier to stack and whack at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
But as you know, you can't exactly cut in, like if you're stacking and stuff, it's hard to cut in an odd number. So
yes,
I still would have had that extra one anyway.
Melissa said, we had a kid last year that dressed like Steve from Minecraft. It was a hit. That's cool. I don't know which one is Steve, but I don't know a lot about Minecraft, but my son does play Minecraft. So I know what the characters sort of look like. I just don't know which one's which. But I bet that was neat.
When a kid comes without a costume, specifically teenagers, I'll just like, awesome teenage costume. That's just like the best one I've seen yet.
Yeah. Joanne Clark said, Russ, what do you do for a living, if you don't mind sharing?
The easiest way to describe what I do is a babysitter. I am in the finance and accounting group of a small media organization. At least that's what management thinks we are. Warner Brothers Discovery. And it's one of those, we're doing a lot of system integration projects, because in our previous management before we merged, all of the legacy Warner Media stuff had different accounting and ERP systems. And now that we are under the Discovery umbrella, they want us in one ERP system in order to make reporting easier. So we had an all hands meeting, what was it, 2 weeks ago, where management was bragging that we have done 5 years of work in 17 months.
Oh, gosh.
So if I look tired, you understand why.
That's why. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
So yeah, when I'm complaining about crazy things, it's that. And what's worse is the system that we are moving to apparently can't handle more than 15 digits, and that's including decimal points.
Mhm.
And when I said earlier that somebody messed something up by multiplying something by 1,000,
Oh gosh. That's
and
long.
we're like, and when I say including decimal points, it's because different currencies can have a different number of decimal points,
Yes.
which is something that I didn't know until I started dealing with systems like this. And uh, we we did not know that that was a limitation. We thought it was a certain number of before the decimal point, and it makes no sense how it's just a certain number total, including the decimal point.
Yeah.
But I'm not these people that designed this system.
Mm. Linda said when she was a kid, she dressed up as a hobo. Steven said, I love the parents that show up with a 6-month-old dressed as a bunny. Who
I
is
know.
who is eating that candy? Steven, I 100% agree with you. We had several last year that did that. Oh, the candy. Can the baby have a candy? Is the baby going to eat the candy? Like the baby's 3 months old in a stroller. You have them dressed up cute, but just say you want a piece of candy.
Exactly.
The baby's not going to eat the candy.
It's the candy.
Yeah. I mean, I like babies, so I don't mind that you brought your baby for me to see, but just ask for candy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hi,
And I
Sarah.
know that's going to happen because around the corner they are due in 2 weeks. So I know in the end of the month they're going to be bringing the baby around. Can we have trick or treats?
Aw. But I'm sure that you'll give them a special treat.
Oh, I like I said, they can be an infant. I mean, the infant can't talk, but I'm pretending they're saying trick or treat for them as long as the parents say trick or treat on their behalf.
There you go. All right. So are you done with your stems with the
Yes.
pieces? Okay. So we're going to take the actual stem piece, the 4.5 inch, and we're going to add those pieces to either side of it.
Okay.
Okay.
No candy for you. How about a beer?
I was going to say they might be needing like a few hours to sleep. You could be like, I'll give you a nap.
They have joked in the neighborhood that we need to have like beer and wine stops for the parents. And my response has always been, why can't the parents just bring their own beer and wine?
Yeah.
They're not doing much, just sitting there watching the kids anyway.
Yeah. As long as they're not, had so much that it's public intox, then yeah. Is it considered drinking and driving if they're pushing a stroller?
It is if you're doing a riding lawnmower, I've learned.
Yes, I saw that on like I'm such a dork. I've been like watching these like court TV like things on YouTube lately, and one of them, a guy got a DUI on a riding lawnmower. And I was like, what? First of all, that's strange. And second of all, why would you ride a lawnmower while you're drunk? I don't know.
Let's see. My father, who has passed a number of years ago, he had lost his license. And there was a bar, I want to call it next door. It was really 2 lots away.
Uh-huh.
And he would drive his riding lawnmower over to
Oh, really?
the bar. And I'm like, that's ingenious and crazy at the same time.
Yes. In some ways, that's more dangerous because it's open. There's no protection. I don't know.
No, well, he would like we were out in the boonies, so he would just drive right
Gotcha.
next to the ditch and everything. So
Gotcha. Okay.
it was fairly safe-ish. He
Yeah.
called that his living room over there.
Oh gosh. Okay.
The best story I have about that place is shortly after he passed away, I went there to the house to pick up a couple things that I wanted of Dad's.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine went with me, and it was like, "Hey, Sandy's open. Do you want to go play a game of pool or two?" And he's like, "Well, who's going to pay?" I said, "I'll make you a bet." The bet that I made is I said, "I won't know anybody in the bar except for Sandy, but everybody will know me."
Oh yeah.
And he didn't think it was possible. So obviously he took the bet. And we walked in the bar, and Sandy's like, "What are you doing here?" I said, "Hold on a second." And there was like 10 people there. And I said, "Hey, does anybody know who I am?" And everybody said no. So my friend said, "Pay up." I said, "No, no, no, that just proves that I don't know them. Sandy, tell them who I am." And they go, "That's Pete's kid." And everybody's like, "Oh, I know who you are."
Oh, yeah. Robert said, my mother insisted on inspecting the candy from every house so she could pick out what she wanted. All of our parents did that, right? That's all.
Mine didn't.
Sarah said, our town drunk lost his license and vehicle, so he's been driving his lawnmower everywhere. Okay,
Nice.
so like that's his dad. Okay.
You
Stephen
could even get a DUI riding a bicycle.
Yes, yeah. Paula Johnson said, riding your John Deere while intoxicated is a George Jones song. Okay. That is funny. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Okay, so there's definitely more than one person who does that, because I had only seen that one video and I was like, this is very strange, but now I'm hearing that it's not very rare. Okay, so once you've got your stem piece and your leaves all put together, we're just going to add that other 18.5-inch long piece to the top above our stem. We'll put that right on there. Speaking of lawnmower, or somebody, our neighbor must have just started mowing their lawn. I can hear the lawnmower out there.
It was the worst at the beginning of COVID. And when the weather was nice, we tried to open up our windows, and then neighbors would just start mowing their lawn. And I'm on conference calls. I'm like, "I need to work, but I want the window to be open.
Yeah.
Can you just not mow your lawn right now?"
Yeah. I can't tell you how many times in the summertime I've sat down to film something, and our houses are fairly close together here, which is kind of disappointing, but it is what it is. And our neighbor would be mowing in between the houses right outside my window here. And I was like, oh, I had to stop the video, restart.
My across the street neighbor last week, right after I had finished the video, I didn't know what he was doing. And I finally, when I went to take Riley out for the walk, I found out what he was doing. He was vacuuming his cars.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, okay, that's one of those noises that I don't like either.
Joanne wanted to know if he'd be mowing on his way to the bar.
That would be amusing. The lots would be like, "Why is my grass so nice over here?"
Yeah. Like, I'm doing a public service here, people. Okay. Hi, Laura Lynn. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. Okay. So there is the top half of my pumpkin. And we already built the whole bottom half of our pumpkins. And now all we have to do is join them together. And in less than an hour, we have a whole pumpkin done. So I'm just going to flip that right on top of there and join these two pieces together.
I'm going to be excited to have this quilted up and then show it at show and tell.
Nice.
say, look what I did.
Made a pumpkin.
And I even questioned why we were missing a 2.5-inch square.
Yes, you did. I would not lead you astray, Russ. Pumpkins are just my favorite thing in the fall. They're just so happy.
They are. There's a church at the last stoplight before we get to Riley's daycare that is selling pumpkins.
Oh, yeah? That's a fun thing to drive past.
I don't normally buy pumpkins though, so.
Oh. We bought a whole mess of them, one for everybody in our family, so 6 of them when we went apple picking. And everybody picked out something really, really different, which was fun. We found one that was like black with a little bit of orange on it.
Oh.
And then Sarah got the
now I feel like we're getting into those what are they called? Like gourmet pumpkins or something.
Yeah, they had some
like the tricolored carrots that they are thinking are so fancy. And
yes,
I'm like, carrots are supposed to be like black. I don't know why we got them to be orange. All this GMO stuff that everybody doesn't want to have.
Orange is a little bit more appealing than black, though.
That is true.
Like an orange widow spider would not be as scary as a black widow spider.
No, but the Joro spider that I have to walk by multiple times a day with Riley is terrifying.
Yes. Well, any spiders are terrifying in my book. So I do not like spiders.
I do not either. I watched Arachnophobia as a kid on broadcast TV, so it was basically censored some.
Oh.
On a 13-inch black and white TV, and I was still terrified.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Laura Lynn said, good to see you too, Stephanie and Russ.
Hi, Laura Lynn.
Thank you. I love what you're doing with the panels. So cute. And I love that penguin one. Oh my goodness. That was adorable. Oh, hi, Shirley. Shirley from Around to It is here, who also has a YouTube channel. Cool and raining here in Calgary. Almost feels like it could snow. Shh, don't say that. Actually, last week it is a little bit warmer today, but we have cooled off to the point where, as you can see, I'm wearing a sweater. It's sweater weather. And when we were apple picking, the clouds that were kind of looming sort of look like snow clouds. If it would have been cooler,
oh wow,
I think it could have snowed. Joanne said, if you ever got stopped by the sheriff or police, he could say I was mowing the lawn. Maybe, but I'm not sure if they would take that like at 2 a.m. when you came out of a bar. But anyway, here is my pumpkin all done. So
and here is my pumpkin all done.
Oh, very cute, very cute. I'm going to turn off that camera and show it up here. Fun.
This was awesome. Thank you for the pattern, Stephanie.
My goodness, so quick and easy. We got it done in less than an hour, and that's with
I know
and reading the chats and talking. So if we were sitting at home and doing it by ourselves, it'd probably take half hour. So yeah. Sarah said, love the pumpkin, it looks great. Robert said, I have a 500-piece jigsaw puzzle with a witch on it from last year. I ought to start. Oh, that little heart thing's in the way. I don't like that.
Trying to put it together.
Okay. Tamara said, I love that you use my favorite fall fabric. This is my favorite.
Yeah, that was definitely gorgeous fabric.
I love this fabric. So Deb Strain, she's the designer of this fabric from Moda. And typically I don't love her stuff, but I love her. She's a sweetheart. I've met her several times. Um, and so I wanted to like her fabric so much. And when this line came out, I was like, oh, yay. Now I can love her fabric. So they look great, says Sherlock. Thank you.
Thank you.
Neato, guys. Design J said I'm visiting my son near Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's 84. Oh my goodness.
That doesn't sound like Minnesota.
No, that's warmer than we are. We're at like 71, which is warmer for today. It's been in like the 60s, and which I like. I don't mind because I love sweaters. Cute pumpkins. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Oh, that was fun. Well, thanks.
It was a lot of fun.
It actually went quicker than I remembered when I did the other one. So, of course, I did the other one at the last retreat while the ladies were working other things. So I was chatting a lot there too. So I probably didn't take into an account how long it took, but yay.
But at least it's a really cool, really quick fall quilt.
Yeah, absolutely. And you could actually make a bunch of these and turn it into a quilt, or like I'm going to do other colors that I had left over from the fabric line, make several different color pumpkins, and probably make about 4 throw pillows or so.
Nice.
Which will be nice because, like I said, my daughter's been begging me for new throw pillows. So what else do you have going on coming up? Anything fun and new on your channel? Anything you want to talk about before we go?
I have my weekly vlog coming out tomorrow, and I have a week off from work in 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yes, 2 weeks. So I am planning on actually filming a quilt start to finish with that.
Oh, awesome. That'll be great. Can you give us any hints what the quilt is going to be? Or
I have given hints. Do I have it in reach? I do not have. I do have the picture in reach. It's going to be. You lost me for a second.
Yeah, you're back now.
It is going to be this quilt, the multiverse
the
one.
Galaxy one. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am planning on filming that from start to finish, just because it's got the circles in it, and it's a really cool method with the circles. And I talked to the pattern designer, and she said that she would love if I was able to do a really cool like start to finish with it.
Oh, awesome. That's gonna be great. I can't wait to see that. And are you off the week leading up to Steven's retreat?
Yes.
Oh, fun. So you get to end your week at the retreat.
No, I get to end my week a couple days later with a procedure. The IM45 procedure.
Yikes. I think I know what you're talking about. Is that have anything to do with the picture with the crown?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, they love me in the office there, so that's how I got crowned.
Well, that's good. That's not a fun procedure though. Oh. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, but I know it's necessary.
Oh, that's a good idea. Laura Lynn said 1 block or 2 for the side of a trick or treat bag. Yeah.
Ooh.
Great idea. I love that. Yes.
Not made a bag yet though, so maybe that'll be next year once I actually have a bag in my.
Oh yeah, tote bags are super easy. I think there's quite a few people here. Even Steven could show you how to make one. They're real easy. So that's a good place to start actually, is a tote bag. All right, so go ahead and check out Russ tomorrow on his blog. Usually you release that somewhere between 6 and 7 o'clock ish.
Yeah, that's what I try to aim for. And with there not have been a lot happening this past week, it'll probably be closer to the 6 side.
Okay, that sounds good. And right before that, our good friend Steven, who's here in the chat of Blend Designs and the Idiot Quilter, he'll be on live at 4 o'clock Eastern, and he's going to show us, I'm sure, something that he purchased today, or maybe he'll save that for his vlog on Tuesday. I'm not sure, but I'm sure he'll talk about his shop hop. So I can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, there's also several things going on. Tomorrow is October 1st, which means the Adore Sew Along from Camille Ross Kelly, which is the Stitch Pink Sew Along from Moda, starts. And I'm not sure if I'll have my first video up tomorrow or have it up Monday, but one of these days I will have it up. But if I don't have the first block sewn up tomorrow, I will announce the winner of the kit. So definitely come on over to my channel and look for that, because I can't wait to give that kit away to one of you. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to my last vlog video from this past week and you can find out all about it. So that starts. And then Monday is the next Fort Worth Fabric Studio Stay Spooky Sew Along. It's the last week for making blocks. And then the following week, we put everything together. So I'm really excited about that. Wednesday is the sew day with Stephen and Stephanie's Wednesday sew day. So hop on over to that if you want, if you're home and you have time and you want somebody to sew with. We love having people to sew with. It allows us to get a whole bunch of stuff done. Just even if we don't talk, we just sit there and sew with each other.
Always a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, tons of fun. And then tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, I can't tell you what it is yet, but you'll want to check out my channel, Stephen's channel, Shannon's channel, and Sean's channel, because we've got a special announcement for you guys and a little bit of an interactive announcement. So we need you to come on over to all 4 of our channels, check that out and see what we're talking about. And we're very excited about that. So definitely check that out. All right. Well, oh, and then next Saturday is not Village Green.
Carnival.
Carnival. Thank you. The Carnival Sew Along. So if you're part of the Carnival Puzzle Mystery Quilt Sew Along, the Zoom link will go out sometime this week. Shannon is traveling and she takes care of sending that out. I got to get her the link yet. So at some point she's going to get it to you. I'm not sure when. I don't think she's going to be back in time to sew with us. But we're definitely going to go ahead with the Carnival Sew Along. And then the Village Green will be the following Saturday, well, the following week, but not on Saturday, because I am going to be flying back home from Sew Yeah on the 14th, which is Saturday. So I have to move it to 6 p.m. on Sunday. So sorry about that, but I can't go live from an airplane, and I definitely couldn't sell from an airplane. So
they seem to frown upon that.
Yeah. I think that my neighbors would not be too happy if I like squished them even more with a sewing machine and a computer and all that stuff. So yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have. And when is what? Melissa said, when is that? I'm caught up with Puzzle Mystery Quilt now to get caught up on the Spooky Quilt. The Spooky Quilt is on Monday. The Carnival is Sunday, which is the 7th, Russ?
Carnival is Saturday the 7th.
Should be the 7th. Yeah. So the 7th, right here on my channel, live at 5. It's always 5 Eastern time on Saturday. That doesn't change. So yeah. And then I think that's all. Gosh, that I feel like I just said a whole bunch of things.
You have a lot going on right now.
I do. I have a lot going on and more coming. So, oh, and the Moda blockheads. That's the other thing.
Yes.
One more thing.
Those have been looking a lot of fun.
They're fun. They're so much fun and they're really quick, which is nice. This last week was paper piecing. And I know there's a lot of people who were, I was watching the Facebook group that were a little bit scared of it. But I hope that I pointed them to some of Shannon's videos and hopefully that they tried it, because it was really a fun, beautiful block. So, and
it was a simple paper piece too. So it's not like it was a lot of intricacies.
Yeah. Now I understand what they feel like though, because when an applique, because I'm sure it's not gonna be if, it's gonna be when an applique block comes up, I'm gonna go, oh. I don't love applique, but I'm gonna do it because it's part of it, right? So
exactly.
So yeah, look for the next Moda Blockheads block right here on my channel on Wednesday. So it's going to be a little bit easier this week. It's not a paper pieced one. So all right, guys. Well, that's all we have. Thank you again, Russ. It was so much fun sewing with you. I love sewing with you. And we will see all of you again really soon. Bye.
Bye.